Why do many older individuals seem to decline after reaching the age of 80, even those who appeared sharp and healthy just a few years prior? It is commonly assumed that what befalls individuals beyond the age of 80 is purely attributable to genetics or mere fortune. However, this is an incomplete view. This discussion will examine 5 unexpected and frequently overlooked reasons that explain why numerous older adults find it challenging to maintain health and longevity past the age of 80. These reasons differ from the usual explanations, such as diet, smoking, and exercise. Rather, they concern deeper, more nuanced factors that can affect even those who have otherwise led careful lives. The encouraging news is that upon understanding these influences, one may take steps to address them. Thus, if you have ever pondered what genuinely impedes longevity after 80 and wish to safeguard your well-being whilst time remains, consider these insights carefully, as they may well transform your approach to aging before it is too late. Let us examine them in detail. 1. Diminished microsocial engagement. One of the most commonly overlooked factors explaining why so many older adults do not thrive past 80 is the gradual disappearance of microsocial engagement. This does not refer to close friendships or familial gatherings, although these are important, but to those minor, seemingly insignificant day-to-day interactions that once punctuated life without conscious notice. For instance, brief greetings to the postman, exchanging a joke with the local cashier, or merely acknowledging a familiar neighbor whilst walking. These fleeting exchanges were not only pleasant, but also positively influenced the nervous system, fostered a sense of belonging, and maintained the brain's social acuity. After 80, many individuals opt for more convenience, such as ordering items online rather than visiting shops, or they may avoid casual conversation with strangers as a result of hearing loss or diminished mobility. As these subtle social connections disappear, so too does a certain vitality. Remarkably, most people do not notice this process. They assume they are simply simplifying life, when in reality they are eliminating minor interactions which stimulate brain function, improve mood, and signal to the body a continued connection to the world at large. The biological impact of this shift is profound, as loneliness, whether acute or subtle, is recognized by the brain as a stressor. It alters hormone levels, raises inflammation, and weakens immunity while shrinking the very brain networks responsible for memory and emotional regulation. In simple terms, it accelerates the aging process. For those who find their daily chatter dwindling or errands outsourced, or for whom community interaction has faded, it is imperative to rekindle such moments of connection. Each minor interaction quietly affirms one's place in society and acts as one of the most powerful agents for maintaining both longevity and spirit. 2. Excessive caution, leading to inactivity. Another subtle reason for reduced longevity after 80 arises from a tendency toward overcautious inactivity, gradual. What begins as prudent care, such as refraining from potentially hazardous activities, can quickly lead to a pattern of avoidance. Following a minor accident or the perception of risk, like an episode of unsteadiness, some older adults restrict walking outdoors, stop reaching for difficult items or begin sitting for prolonged periods. While well-meaning associates may commend such caution, the long-term effects are detrimental. Critically, when physical movement ceases, so does strength, not only in the limbs but throughout the body, including in essential core muscles, pivotal for balance and mobility. When these muscles are unused, they weaken, leading to poorer balance and further inactivity, a downward spiral. Personal experience has demonstrated that individuals who ceased daily walks or routine activities as a precaution suffered rapid muscle loss and general decline, not due to an initial weakening, but because activity had stopped. While it is important to manage genuine risks, for example by using handrails, appropriate footwear, or mobility aids, there is a significant difference between sensibly mitigating risk and succumbing to it. When fear entirely dictates daily movements, the capacity to engage with life deteriorates further. Therefore, if you find yourself reducing activity not due to incapacity but out of fear, it is crucial to reevaluate. Survival beyond 80 depends not just on avoiding falls, but in sustaining movement, even if with greater caution or deliberation. Movement sustains not only the body, but also cognitive sharpness and emotional well-being. 3. Disturbed sleep cycles. Owing to irregular light exposure, the body contains an internal clock, the circadian rhythm, which quietly controls a range of biological processes from mood and metabolism to immune function and brain repair. After 80, this rhythm becomes increasingly sensitive, and one of the primary disruptors is inconsistent exposure to natural light. Many older adults inadvertently diminish their daylight exposure by remaining indoors, especially in winter, while allowing the evenings to fill with artificial light from screens and lamps. Individually, these changes may seem trivial, but collectively they confuse the body's timing signals. Natural daylight in the morning signals to the brain that it is time to be active, whilst darkness at night initiates the release of melatonin to facilitate restorative sleep. A deficit in natural light during the day, combined with excessive artificial light at night, disrupts sleep onset and quality, leading to grogginess, reduced energy, and impaired memory, symptoms that may be incorrectly attributed solely to age. Additionally, after 80, the skin's capacity to synthesize vitamin D diminishes, making outdoor light exposure even more critical. Case studies have shown that simple practices, such as sitting by a sunlit window each morning and ceasing screen use an hour before bedtime, can dramatically improve sleep, mood, and memory in older adults. Therefore, a concerted effort to receive morning light and limit evening artificial illumination is not merely comforting, but essential for maintaining physical and cognitive health in later life. 4. Suppressed emotions resulting from loss and isolation. By the age of 80, most individuals have experienced considerable loss, whether of a spouse, sibling, close friends, or even a child. While society tends to offer sympathy, it seldom recognizes the cumulative impact of these losses, not just emotionally but physically, say. Rather than expressing and working through this grief, many elders internalize it, often believing it necessary to appear resilient or because they feel no one else can truly understand their pain. Unprocessed grief does not simply fade, the body retains it. Suppressed sorrow can manifest as impaired immune function, poor digestion, disrupted sleep, hormonal imbalances, and chronic nervous tension. Indeed, it is common for sadness and loss to lead insidiously to loss of appetite, insomnia, and reduced engagement, all of which accelerate the decline. Those who continue to flourish past 80 are frequently those who find healthy outlets for their emotions, be it through confiding in a friend, writing, participation in faith groups, or professional counseling. The manner of expression is less important than the principle. What is expressed may be transformed, but what is suppressed can intensify internal distress. Thus, creating space for emotion is vital, both for emotional relief and for sustained life-worthiness. 5. Gradual erosion of daily purpose. Perhaps the most invisible factor affecting well-being after 80 is the gradual loss of daily purpose. Not a grand philosophical mission, but simple, everyday reasons to rise in the morning. Purpose can be as modest as watering plants, posting a letter, looking after a pet, or greeting neighbors. When these routines fade, often through the gradual cessation of social groups, games, or family visits, days become indistinguishable and life loses its texture and rhythm. When the mind ceases to sense a reason to continue, the body likewise reduces its engagement. Appetite lessens, movement decreases, and key physiological systems become dormant, not due to malfunction, but because they await renewed motivation. Yet, small, consistent habits, a weekly correspondence, preparing food for others, or maintaining a daily observation, provide the day with shape and meaning. Individuals who age with vitality commonly anchor their days with the simple, regular activities, which reassure their sense of ongoing purpose. When this is lost, the very drive to remain well diminishes. Thus, restoring even the smallest daily rituals is crucial. Consistency, not scale, is the determinant. Conclusion, in summary. Most older adults do not fade abruptly after 80 due to a single catastrophic event. Rather, it is the incremental dulling of habit, routines, and purpose that brings about decline. These shifts are so subtle that often only retrospect reveals their cumulative effect. However, just as these changes occur gradually, they may also be slowly reversed. By initiating an extra walk, engaging in a small daily task, or forging an additional social interaction, each such act can begin to restore structure, connection, and meaning. Reflect upon these 5 unexpected influences. Which surprised you the most? Which resonated with your own experience and perhaps most importantly, which are you prepared to address, if only in a modest way, starting today? Remember, whilst aging itself cannot be halted, the manner in which one ages remains substantially within one's control. By remaining attentive to gradual shifts, protecting daily rhythms and purpose, and allowing oneself emotional expression, there is every prospect not just of reaching, but living well beyond 80, fully, deeply, and on your own terms. We encourage you to share your insights or intentions below, as your reflections offer encouragement to others. If you found these observations valuable, please show your support. We look forward to our continued conversations. Thank you for your attention.